Well, it looks like it's going to be an offline broadcast. I didn't expect this to be an offline broadcast, but it's definitely going to be an offline broadcast. It's a little bit delayed than what I would normally like. Normally, honestly. So, I can't believe I didn't even. Oh, I'm not beating myself up. I just didn't even recognize the amazingness that I decided to hesitate in the oneness of the irony is I almost said staying fifth dimensional. Rocking the fifth dimension. Rocking the multiple dimensions. Rocking the fifth dimension, so there's some other things I didn't read yet, so I also want to not read those news items before I enter into the realm of excellence mastery. So one thing I want to say, like, that matinee was actually spot on. Like, super shout out to those. Um, super shout out to them. Like, they literally created a great, amazing expression of the love that I express. The matinee within myself. I don't know. I don't know to say anything else other than the love and the self radiance that existed in those mornings and those moments and those points of effort that existed in the fullest frontier acceleration. You were kind of met with whatever types of unique tenacities that exist in the tendencies that are already there in the realm that is connected with master architecture and masters of the architectural designs and creative designs and creation and manifestation. And ultimately, like, I kid you not, once again, I've purposely been practicing by staying awake and lucid in my dream state. I don't necessarily remember my dream from last night, even though it is 2 a.m. on the 15th of September. I do not recall, which is an unfortunate thing to say, but a very truthful thing to say. I do not recall the dreams and the dream state that I had, even though that is the most current and the most powerful and the most honest thing. It's ridiculous because it's amazing because I think we're actually super honest about it. So I wanted to get into some details. So I think I just habitually, and maybe it's unconscious, and a lot of it's subconscious, and I know that. But when it comes to just like exploring certain things in terms of the tenacity field, for example, the just the like let's address the this sounds so ridiculous, but I actually need to start off by saying, or at least from my eyes, which is appropriate but not appropriate, which is something that can needs to be handled either way. Anyway, so like the immortal card, like that's still a thing, and I don't know why I just came out and said it, but immortal card it seems super obvious to me, but it goes around. So there's ultimately just the continued format, from what I understand, a continuousness that seems to happen that is actually the truthfulness of like an expression of human emotion or an expression of desire and willpower to connect and become more in sync and the respecting of the sacred union, and it is like a dance in itself. But the thing is, the virtue that comes, which is gonna sound completely ironically a completely ironical, strange form of oxymoron or coincidence or whatever you want to call it, but there's just the fact that there's more. I forget where I was going with that. There's just more magic, and there's more life, and there's more energy in the higher vibrations than I could possibly realize, than we could possibly realize, that I could possibly realize. So I always recommend my own abilities and powers, because I didn't realize, like, and I did realize, but, like, I can just cycle through, and I'm so tired, it's ridiculously honest. But, I kid you not, some of these broadcasts could just stay remarkably short, and perhaps I should just keep it like that. I didn't know I had actually summarized that amazingly quick. But I'm honestly just ruthlessly satisfied. Alright, so the truth, it wasn't even an experiment because we got so honest about it. Okay, so the truth of the experiment that happened between me and Khan is just me and Khan, obviously. It's like smoke in the air. Smoke in the lungs. No pun intended, which is so hilarious. But anyway, like, so there's which is probably still gonna happen. There's sessions, and I'm gonna make this short. But there's sessions that happened, and we'll just call it like green tarp or something like that. We'll call it a green tarp session, even though there's probably another name for it. Anyway, so what was going on? So it's like, we were prepared for anything and everything. I was prepared for anything and everything and everything and everything. And so we're just working with all these energies and stuff, just tossing things about and being completely honest. And it turns out we were completely honest on the three, I think that's the case. So here's the thing, like, so we had the broadcast, and then I went to go see those movies, and I was like thinking, like, I'm seeing these movies because I'm seeing these movies with him, and I'm, he's setting up the seating, he's setting up all the people, all that stuff, and we're just creating vibe, culture, communication, sort of love, unity screen that still has, like, and I feel like I should be cheering a little bit more than I actually am, but I'm not, which is also weird. But anyway, so what actually happened? So when I was with God's chakra that day, I did not intend to. Well, everything I was doing yesterday was or 2 days ago was involved in bravery, meaning that ultimately there is this is going to sound so cliche, but there is a measure of acceleration of greatness in the understanding and the continued movement, believe it or not, because this is, accelerating in a positive way. The continued movement of the love revolution, the love energy, and that love vibration that's still going to continue to overpower and just rule and take control and all that stuff. And that's kind of what it does naturally, because love conquers all and continues to conquer all. So we're just conquering. All those boys just being completely honest with ourselves, like completely honest with ourselves, like you wouldn't believe it. And I wanted to really express, I want to express that love as well at the same time, which happens just to be something that's courageous that I have. But anyway, it does happen to be true that I want to continue to express that love, but I can also express that love as, just overall music power, which is something that I also found out. Sound Jedi style, or even just sound cycling, where I can just, cycle through orchestras and cycle through symphonies and cycle through just the great, amazing celestial sound, and then just accelerate that sound and then create movement and then siphon or, skip through creation. But the thing is, I just do that just for fun, And so the thing is, so there's fearlessness that happens, and that I'm actually attached to the fearlessness that has to do with the levels of just overall control, like overall leadership. It's great leadership that I got, and overall trust. And so I'm fifth dimensional, and I feel like that's pretty much, like, I actually lean toward the fifth dimension. I always say that I'm actually higher dimensional, but other things like that. So other things, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I just, for some reason I have a habit, like, and I'm letting that go, because that really frustrates people, and they have a right to be frustrated about that, because I'm actually leaning into that, and I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but there's empathy and emotion that has to be dealt with, only because there's so much intense speed that there's no measure at all. It's unfortunate, but there is literally no measure at all, because motion is something that's completely different than what we could possibly imagine. But that's okay, because that's what love is all about. So there's also, I'm not going to lie, there's a sense of dirtiness, there's a dirtiness that exists, and we'll just call it like a dirty, sloppy speech, and there's a sloppiness that exists, and I'm not saying that, I advocate for the sloppiness, but I do notice it, and I do see it, and I do notice the transducent sort of conducement of that sort of nature that actually applies to or that actually is the nature of the greatness that exists, and can be and it is fluid in the nature of what exists. And dude, it's just like, it's weird. I feel like I'm still playing catch up. Like, I'm playing catch up with the idea of the mirror image of the joy, and I still want to be honest about it. But the thing is, like, I'm more genuine with the truth forms of the actual, dream meetings that we have, because they literally just like that. So it's weird, It's funny because, like, I actually have to find out a solution. Or so I think, because it's actually so much fun that my manifestation abilities, I think, are just something that I should go be gung-ho for. Yay. Or something like that, Anyway. So, back to business is the Truth Acceleration. So, it's been a very, very big day. It's been a very big day. Normally, I'm not gonna lie, like, either one, it's fun to just rule, but it's incredibly, I can't tell you how incredibly, like, busy and unstressful it is, because I think everybody should do it, not just because, like, I think everyone should do it and everyone needs to do it, but one, because I could be like that sometimes, two, because I already freaking was courageous enough to go through the whole thing anyway, So here's the thing. Here's what I'm not understanding, is that I'm actually finding out that I would do it anyway. Alright, that's a weird thing. Okay, so fudge, I don't even know how to say it. It just sliced through. Just freaking slicing through, like, just however tall that freaking, just hitting the bar, And then shooting for the stars. Alright, so the bar. What's the bar? Like, reaching the bar, setting the bars, and then split. So, like, the thing is, there's manifestation speed. Everything that we're doing happens anyway, and we have a table, and we have a device, we have a connection, it's perfect, and that's the focus. And the thing is, we have a device, we have a connection, we have the love, we have the connection, we have the focus. And then there's the honor of it. And there's honor with that in that mission, okay? And we charge forward, fearlessly, walk forward, march forward, walk forward, talk forward, speak forward, lead forward. Anyway, that you want to see it. So it's spectacularly lazily, but truthfully, honestly, true. Because of the ridiculousness that exists, and just the courage of the story that actually existed, and that's actually what we support, and that's actually what we find out, and that's actually why there's so much hype, and hype in a good way, and I really mean hype in the most strongest professional word, because there's so much competition. So, to be honest, I didn't make this broadcast as early as I would like. I totally actually just fell asleep at like 11. I don't even remember seeing 11 p.m. On the 14th of September, but anyway. There's a lot of, let's call it, composing and big top re-manifestation and recreation. So, okay, so let's just be realistic. The disintegration techniques, will continue to use those. Those are really fun. But it also turns out, I need to know that, once again, I was so amazing that I'm affecting the world. I'm affecting the consciousness of reality. And that's the purpose of consciousness in the first place is to be the reality that says that love is the only thing that's real, and everything else is false, or something like that. That's one way to look at it, but that's a little more brave way. That's something that I do. But I'll probably have some love sessions going on out and about, or I say out and about, but going around this week. Just some other broadcasts that I'll have this week that have to do with love and to do with that vibration, and it'll be genuine, and then we'll hype it up and incredibly increase it and accelerate it, and then what's the other thing? I want to. Oh, so the truth is, yes, it's an actual dance. What happened on, like, right after, it's not going to make any sense to people, but it'll somewhat make sense. Like, believe it or not, like, right after Starbucks was, there's that dance that has to do with, what I didn't know at the time, but what is the actual, sort of cha-cha slide of the rocking sort of career. But the thing is, like, and I made, there's 3 sounds, and, I was just like, it was so freaking awesome, dude. It was almost like a call, like a rook call, or like a freaking name or something, like a battle cry almost. But anyway, maybe hindsight's always 20/20, but of course it seems like a battle cry now. But the thing is, like, all it was is just like, okay, so the thing is, it can actually be kind of gritty, but there's a sense of, well, the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was literally just, it was disgusting, I guess, is what I can say. The music, the sound, and that's honestly how I responded, or that's honestly how I got so quick, and how I just, impacted so fast. But I was so honest about it, and that's the cool thing about music, is I'm the one who could do that. But I'm actually, I actually have, anyway, well, I mean, it means a lot to me, but I actually have praise, and I actually have love, and I actually have honor. I actually have, people that like me, and so I like them, and I love them, believe it or not. And I also just love energy that goes out and about. And I say out and about, but that really doesn't mean anything. But I do have energy that just goes everywhere, and I actually reach out to it. And the thing is that I reach out, and so just beware, because it's going to happen anyway, and it's moving towards you. Also, some more love field energy things is dreams. Like, are they confirmed? Obviously, dreams are obviously in my full control, like full control. The other thing is, dreams actually need to be modified. Dreams need to be not as aggressive as they actually are, which is why a lot of the energy and action occurs in the 5th dimension and stays in the 5th dimension. The types of missions that occur have to be involved with like a new type of elite team. And, like, we were joking about it before, like, I kid you not, but we need to actually have, like, a good team. Like a solid team that's involved and we need to train them, which is the sad thing, because we actually still need to train them, which is it is the format of joy, love, which is what they are allowed to participate in, but at the same time, we get so upset we don't need to interfere with free will. Hilarious sort of thing that goes on there. That's all I can say. Like, the best form of support that I can have right now is, nothing more than we should. You can never doubt the ability for a small group of people to change the world. So that's gonna happen a lot. It's gonna continue to happen. Because I'm not gonna even lie. It wasn't sloppy, and it was clean, but it was kind of lazy, and it turned out to be lazy because of the sloppiness that surrounds it. And I don't mean to not be brutally honest, but I do mean to have some type of progress that occurs so that I can continue to be actually consciously sane. Oh gosh. So, where was I going with that? There's a lot of energy in food, and all that creative energy that happens just from that plane of like, oh, what do these certain things mean to me? These sips and stuff, and so like, I just enjoy the culture, and see, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, this is your host, Christopher Curtis Bowen, on this morning edition of the Christopher Bowen Show. This is incredibly early. I didn't make a broadcast on the 14th yesterday, but immediately this morning I'm making a broadcast, and light and love continues to ensue. There'll just be some more abilities that are popping up, so for now, I am continuing to agree with the vibration of the creativity of the inner child, which has been proven over and 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 over, but guaranteed with the matiné. And let's just give myself credit and then give them credit. Guarantee the matiné from 2 to 3, or from 3 to 4, or 2 to 4. With the Project Vocal Earthshake level planetary leadership, which is good, solid and agreed on and loved. I'm kind of nonchalant about that. I should be more loving about that, even more so. And then to the other thing about the fact that the 3 to 5 is a factor, but for some reason I recognize the energies and the empathy level. I recognize my own empathy level, which is not really something I need to recognize, in the energy of the recognition of the incredible, insane speed that I have for just the actual bravery that I actually decided to commit to when I was at the bar. So regardless, either way, it follows through. So, however, speech is said in terms of the types of recognition that happens in non-coordination with the gosh, and this is powerful. With the body, and just with the planetary body, and with anything that we see, just some things aren't always as they seem. With lots of love, I love you all.